according to a recent survey, about a third of people set New Year's resolutions this year, and with the most common being health and weight loss. And these goals could be connected to weight stigma, setting you up for failure. We welcome Dr. Taniya Nagpal, assistant professor at the University of Alberta. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting conversation. Let's start with this. What is weight stigma, and how does it drive those January weight loss goals?
Yeah, so weight stigma is defined as negative misconceptions and stereotypes associated with weight. And this could be experienced across the weight spectrum. It's basically those ideas of your body is too small or your body is too large. And where it comes from is that we have societal ideas of what is the perfect body. And if you deviate from that, you're vulnerable to experiencing weight stigma. And we definitely see people who have larger bodies or are living with obesity might report more weight stigma, but anyone can experience it. It's these ideas of your weight or your body size isn't meeting what we as society deem ideal.
Sure. And easier said than done, but why should we be kinder to ourselves?
Oh, well, you know, weight stigma, they're stereotypes. They're social narratives that are created. And so when we listen to these things and we're telling ourselves, well, I'm supposed to look a certain way, we're ignoring the complexity that weight itself is. It's difficult to change your metabolism and change your metabolic set point to be a certain weight. We set unrealistic goals that might, you know, we're relying on the number on the scale instead of focusing on the positives of being healthy that have nothing to do with the number on the scale. So you're really, you know, not being kind to yourself. You're setting yourself up to experience more demotivation and feeling as though you're not achieving your goals. But in reality, that goal that was initially set was based on society, not you.
Right, right. We're both moms, so this probably hits us in a certain way. What does weight stigma do before and after pregnancy, and during even?
And during, And so that's really what my research dives into most specifically, is that it's that reproductive years phase. And so even though in pregnancy, bodies change. Physiologically, you're going to gain weight. Yet we still have a societal idea of what bodies should look like before, during, and after pregnancy. So if I asked you to think of a pregnant silhouette, you'll automatically think of this kind of thin frame and this perfectly pronounced abdomen. That is weight stigma. The fact that you were able to think of that is weight stigma, that you think there's this ideal body that people should adhere to during pregnancy. And after pregnancy, there's this misconception that you should bounce back like this. You had baby, now you should lose your weight and look perfect and everything's great.
Right.
So that's weight stigma, these stereotypes and misconceptions that you're supposed to look a certain way both during pregnancy and after pregnancy.
And what do you think people don't understand about weight loss?
It's hard. That's what I think is the biggest misconception. And in January, you've probably seen several sort of gym membership ads where they show this before and after image of somebody, or on social media, here's this new diet, you do this, and in 9 weeks you'll look like this. That sells, but it's not the truth.
Right.
And oftentimes what it's also showing is things like you won't achieve happiness till you look a certain way. And that messaging is so poor and demotivating. Weight is super complicated. It's not simply about just eat less, move more. There's several psychological variables. Your body itself has a tendency to hold on to weight. Everybody's metabolism is different. So a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. And there's the piece of weight stigma where if you are somebody who's constantly hearing these negative messaging and you start to believe them to be true of yourselves, that could be one of the greatest barriers to achieving the goals that you have.
And we run out of time, but I do want to ask, what supports are there for dealing with topics like this?
Yeah, so if you are struggling with obesity or weight or any of those things, you should talk to your general practitioner if you can. Edmonton actually has several great clinics with healthcare providers who are top of the country in terms of weight management. ObesityCanada.ca is also a great resource. They even have a course on weight stigma that's available to everybody.
Good to know. Taniya, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Taniya Nagpal is an assistant professor at the University of Alberta.